Went to the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there, cold shoes and hoops.
What's up? This T-Shirt Kings 247.com. I recently researched all the other internet sites that sell shirts like we do. And by far, we are the cheapest. With us, you order 20 shirts, you get 60% off. You order 50 shirts, you get 65% off. It's hard for me to properly articulate the deal you're getting because it's so damn. T-ShirtKings247.com, 937-603-4494. Whatever you need, we bring it right to your door. What's up, everybody? Welcome to For Shits and Giggles podcast. I am Ahava Elian. I got my cousin Remy G in the building and my brother T.A., otherwise known as Bone.
Yes, sir.
And we want to apologize for coming on late. I had a fuse actually blow. And man, I set this stuff up like an hour and a half. But then when I come to sit down and get ready, everything was just cut off. All the lights was cut off, the TVs was cut off, everything was cut off, bro. So this is literally a For Shits and Giggles intro because I worked so hard making the thumbnail and getting everything ready to rock, and then just come and everything was turned off. But we back, we up, and we running. Man, I'm thankful for my bros to hang in there with me. I'm thankful for everybody to hang in there with us while we got situated. But it's definitely a lot to be discussed. I know we're gonna talk about sports a lot, but I see like a serious climate and conversation to be had too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that one good thing that I love about Remy, one thing I love about Bone, is that I always feel like, man, we are socially connected, we conscious, and we just understand life in general outside of sports. Stop, Ellie. So, I did want to open up like that just to let everybody know this viewing that, we definitely going to talk about sports and everything else. But if we venture into more current event stuff, just keep rocking with us.
Most definitely, because can't just be about just only one thing. There's so much more to life than sports. I know there's maybe a lot of women that's tuning in that's not even into sports, and just to hear us talking about different topics and stuff on life. So definitely, I think that's a good segue to go into some other things, and also we're just using sports that's able to allow us to talk about other social topics and stuff like that, because a lot of times sports is just a reflection of the world. So it's definitely a good way to do it. So I think that's a good thing, and glad that we can, start to talk about some other topics.
Man, most definitely. Go ahead, Bone. I'm trying to get situated in here. We're trying to find the podcast and everything else. We're here working.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you was about to go. No, that's pretty much everything that you guys said I would echo. And that's pretty much, you start off at sports. I think one of the first things you do learn with sports is that it's almost you learn, as better put, learn a whole lot of lessons about how you are as a person, what your expectations are when it comes to life from sports and through sports. So to be able to expand as far as your topics or the scope of the show when you talking about or having discussions around things that are real world, or things that extend beyond the realm or the arena of sports, I think it's bound to happen. I think you see it all the time nowadays with any and every sports show. Eventually it gets into what happens, current events, politics, those sort of things. Even as hard as you try to, in a lot of cases, stay away from it, it finds a way into your reality when you talk about sports, because most of the biggest events that happen in sports have some sort of political or non-sports theme attached to it. So it's just a natural progression, if you will.
So the most major thing that's been going on right now is this This young man, Charlie Kirk, has got shot, executed, man, and like the video is all over the internet. He had 3,000 people at a college coming to pretty much debate. And he had a lot of inflammatory ideas, like the stuff that he says is like controversial, you know. And of course, we know that everybody got the right to their opinion. And everybody can say whatever it is that they want to say, and they should be able to say whatever they want to say without being assassinated. But with that being said, though, do you guys think that it's possible for people to bring situations like that on them? I'm not saying that it is or saying that it's not. I really want to ask because that has been a talking point, saying that the things that he says is kind of like bringing it on itself. And do you guys think that that's even possible for somebody to give their opinion debating it so much that they're inviting somebody to assassinate them because of the things they think?
I'm not gonna say that. I feel that it brings it onto themselves, but let's look at this country that we live in and look at what it has always been. And through our leaders throughout the history, from Malcolm X to Dr. King, when they spoke and they gave their opinion on things, it has cost them their lives. You know what I'm saying? When they talked and spoke up. So now when it happens now onto the other side, it's kind of like what Malcolm X talked about the chickens coming home to roost. So it's only so long that things are going to can take place on the other side before it hits home. You know, and that's what has happened here with America. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel anybody should be assassinated and murdered for their opinions and their point of view. But this is truly just showing what our country is about. And this is what has gone on in America for years. You know, and so how do you feel about it? That's hard to say. That's for every individual to kind of have their own opinion on how they feel about it. And I think that is going to vary from individuals. So now you just hope that this does not escalate and turn into something else. Like saying today that there were HBCUs put on lockdown because of terroristic threats because of this situation. What did the HBCUs have to do with this situation that took place? This happened at a college in Utah that was a predominantly white college, and Utah is a red state. So what would that have to do with HBCUs that they would need to receive terroristic threats for the actions that took place in Utah? That definitely had nothing to do with them. So I don't understand that part of it. I don't feel anybody should be murdered for their point of view and their views of how they feel. But again, this is America, and this is what we have seen that happen time and time again in America.
Yeah, for me, I think that seeing what happened to the young man, you always have empathy, and you don't want that to be the ultimate outcome. But I think when you just research who he is and some of his sort of ideological stances, you don't have as much, at least for me. You know, it's one thing. I think it's two separate conversations that are going on at the same time, that in situations like this, because one, he's left leaning or far right and conservative in terms of his political views. But if you hear the things that he say from a racial standpoint, a lot of people would classify him as a racist too. And those two things combined together, for a black man, it's hard to, you don't want to see that happen. But at the same time, you do not in no way, shape, or form have any alliance to his views. And when you see that, happen, it's sort of like Reem was saying, it's one of those things that in this country, I don't think I've ever experienced or seen someone on the right get done like that. And I think that the out
What you mean
the
that
result
somebody on the right didn't get done like that, bro? Is that what you said? Somebody on
getting
the right
murdered
didn't
like
get done?
getting murdered like that. Not that I can
Somebody, when you say
recall.
on the right, you mean politically right,
Yeah,
conservative?
yeah,
Okay.
and
Well, they just tried to
someone
kill Donald Trump twice.
Man, that was fake news, man. I mean, you as you saw what happened right here with this guy when he was executed. If somebody was trying to kill him, shooting with them type of caliber of guns, ain't nobody grazing no ears. If they was
Man,
they
I
was
mean, him getting,
shooting to
I
kill.
kind of thought like what you're saying too a little bit, but now seeing that, man, you don't know. You don't know, man. I mean,
the only
that to
thing
me is that's a lot, man. It's a lot. And you know what? Something else. Now, I do hear some of the stuff that he says. To me, what I think is, I think that I think that he's looking at things on a surface level and not really going deep enough to understand why certain things are the way that they are. He kind of looking at it from like a right now standpoint. And it's often offensive, man, whenever you hear like a white person critique the conditions of black people without first like I don't know, qualifying a statement is the right way to say it, but it's a little, it seems racist, like right off the top. It
No, he
just
was
seems
racist.
racist, whether it is or not. It like critique. So it's a very tight rope to walk. And I don't know, can a white person give black people constructive criticism?
they can, but I would say it's difficult for them just for the very reasons that you said. And until you can clearly show, at least from my standpoint, unless you can show that you really understand my position and have, if your intentions are truly like real. I always have a raised eyebrow when it comes to critiques or suggestions from a white person concerning black people. It's just one of those things. At the back of my mind, I always ask the question, can you really relate to my situation? And do you really want me to be in a better, or us to be in a better position? How it relates to anything. Because I think in a lot of situations, you're talking about us in that situation directly from situations put in or systems put in place by your forefathers. So it's hard to really look at those things and be sincere in a lot of cases, I think, without
So
really
looking at
pointing back at your own people and really having some real genuine sincerity when you're talking about my situation.
and there's a
Cuz
difference between
let me ask you this, Remy G. Hold on. No, this is good for you. Look,
Mhm.
do you see anything in particular that you think could make us better as a community, as a culture, as just, period? Like when you just look at us as a people.
Yes, there's always things that we can do better that to make us grow, to make us to be better, to advance us, and to advance us all together as a movement of people who trying to look out for each other. We can stop doing things to each other to hurt each other. That would be something that would be greatly to advance us. We can stop with having so much black on black crime. We can stop having so many wars between men and women, of just not being able to get along and treating each other correctly and loving each other in the ways that they just deserve to be loved. So yeah, it's a lot of things that we can do. But in this guy's case, I don't think he was ever critiquing us. He was just really being a racist, blaming black people for all type of things and really being negative towards us. So therefore, when I say so, when I look at the situation, I hate to see that. And that because you don't know how that was a horrific thing. And that was seen all over, was all over social media. His kids got to see that. They have to grow up and have that image and stuff into their head. So you hate that. But looking at his situation and the fact that he showed no empathy towards Black America and all the things that he said, I don't really mourn it. You know what I'm saying? I hate that this happened to him. You know what I'm saying? And that the situation took place. And no one should be killed like that. But I don't really, I don't mourn it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I asked the same question that Tupac asked in the song. You know, when he asked, "Do we cry when the Pope died?" Well, did they cry when they murdered Malcolm X? So therefore, what form of sympathy or empathy are you going to have for someone that has none for you? And that's what makes it a hard situation. But in our nature, that mostly we are good-hearted people. So you do feel some type of compassion for his kids and his wife that have to see that. But this man said a lot of things that showed that he had no compassion or empathy for Black folks in America. So
for people like that, for people, just all people, I really don't care how they act. I just kind of go on how I truly feel. Like I understand the whole thing on both sides. I feel like I could see what both sides mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can, because we have people like that too in our community. Like somebody like how you perceive his message means a lot. And there are some people who are just kind of like, it's like young Black kids that follow this guy. Now it could be propaganda, but they had him on Fox News this morning. These was 14-year-old kids that grew up. They're 23 or something now, and he went and recruited them, and they are a part of his movement. 2 young kings that was on his movement, and then there was another little young white girl that was with him on Fox News. And then I just watched Candace Owens. Man, Candace Owens has traveled the whole world with Charlie Kirk. They
started
best
a business
friends.
Together. They were
Bro, they're best friends, and they got videos of them in the car, just like us, how we brothers. That seems like that's how her and him was, bro. They was locked in. And for him to be so locked in with somebody like that, is it possible for somebody to be a racist but to have a Black best friend?
I believe so. And I think that
Racist?
it doesn't say absolutely, because I believe in my heart of hearts he is and died a racist, and I believe that him and that's why when my original statement I said there's
I've
two
heard
separate.
him say some stuff. I heard him say something. I heard him say when he sees a Black pilot, he wonders if it's DEI and doesn't feel safe. To me, that's disrespectful.
very
You know what I'm
disrespectful.
saying? Like that, like stuff like that is doing
It's so this
like,
is what I say to that too. So when you ask, can someone be racist and have a Black best friend or this and that, there's people that are racist who have married black people. There are people who are racist. There are people who are extremely racist until their kids marry a black man or a Black woman and they have grandkids, and then when their grandkids are faced with that same type of racist energy, now they have a problem with it. But to their core, that has been them forever. So there are plenty of people that are racist, but I got a few Black friends, or I'm married a Black.
Where do these people get racism from? Like, how do they become racist?
How do they become? I think the same way any other behavior is learned. You have to learn that, and it's been developed over time. It's just a matter of when it shows up in the way that people live and the way that they think and the way that they move. You know, it may be sort of a shock, but I think that all that does is reveal the part of the way they were brought up or the people they've been around, whether it's good or bad. I think you can't escape that. And to go back to the original, like when you were saying, can he be racist and be around Black people or have a Black best friend? I think that's sort of where the lines get blurred, because for like you said, those young kings that are supporting his movement, ideologically, I think they'll say that he's not a racist. They, in their minds, they probably wouldn't think that, and they are aligning to his his politics. And that's what they say when they say certain things that, for me, when I hear, like your comment that he made about a DEI hire as a pilot, for me, that's a highly offensive and racist statement.
Yeah, I
For
think
them,
so.
they can say that. For them, they can say that's not a racist statement. That is a genuine level of concern, because this individual, if I seen, they had a less than, they didn't have to do as much to get that job, which is, you hear all the time about DEI hires. And from my mind, a DEI hire would have and always had to do twice as much as whoever it was that got hired by the traditional means for organization. So I think having those tough conversations is always difficult. I think if you work in corporate America, you hear this all the time, because you have to have these DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion meetings, and hear how people look at these things. And 9 times out of 10, when you get into these sticky subjects about race, you like, it without fail, you leave those meetings like, man, this dude is racist.
Let me ask you guys something. Hold on. So let me ask you guys this then. It sounds like to me both of you guys think that this guy is racist.
I don't.
Yes.
And from me,
hold on, but just let me finish the point.
is.
Let me finish the point. Not that's not to be debated. Like and I think he's racist based on him saying the pilot stuff. Now I start to feel like, bro, you kind of racist, bro. Like you saying stuff that's disrespectful. Okay. With that being said, all of us feel like that this man is out of pocket, but they lowered the flags to half-mast yesterday.
Right.
He is getting ready to receive some award right off the rip. He's praised by Donald Trump. He was even part of this convention. I've seen plenty of pictures and all of this and that. What does that say about the climate of the leadership? Like, where are we living at?
It says that we're consistent.
Living at, bro?
It says that we're consistent. If you look at what this leadership has done, they're reinstating the racist names at all these like Air Force bases, putting back up these racist monuments. It seems like,
this will be the newest statue. This will be a monument tomorrow.
Or a statue. Yeah, all that stuff. It just shows that from a political standpoint, we're consistent. And, our quote unquote leaders, or leaders of the United States, they are a lot more receptive to people who have had a racist background attached to their legacy. They're not, and then they're putting away anyone that was trying to uplift the Black community. If you've ever been to the Black Smithsonian in Washington D.C., they say they're trying to shut down multiple exhibits in there and that sort of thing. So I'd say clearly they're showing that they're consistent, if nothing else.
So one topic I want to speak on that, Cuz just talked about the DEI and DEI hires. So if you look at it and you research it and do the studies on it, on DEI, white women have benefited far more than any other group off of DEI. So the actual DEI did not help advance Black people or black groups, and Black men or women as far as jobs and things was concerned. White women was the most beneficial, and it also says that white men benefited a whole lot more than Black people from DEI. And that's what ended up happening when Trump started to fire people and this and that. What did you really see? You saw more white people outraged and upset because it affected their jobs more than it affected our groups. So we can't be blinded by a lot of the stuff that goes on and get thrown up out there. So what we do know is what Make America Great Again meant was trying to make America back to what it was. And that's why you asked the question, when was it great? And great for who? Trump is almost an 80-year-old 80-year-old white man. So he grew up in a time where there was colored only bathrooms and that type of stuff. So for him to say something is going back to something being great, it was not great for us. It was not great for us. And so what we're seeing is what we've always seen, and Cuz is absolutely correct. America has been consistent of its treatment towards people of color for years, and how it viewed itself, and who they felt was the hierarchy here in this country. This is what it has been, and it's consistent, and we're seeing it now. So now you see something like this take place, and we watched and heard all the things that this man said, and the media will try to tell you that he wasn't racist.
But you know what? I don't think it don't seem like somebody killed him because of that or unalived him. It don't seem like somebody did. I don't think that's the reason.
What do you mean,
like
though, bro?
That's a front reason, huh?
What do you mean by that? I didn't understand what you were saying. You said you don't think that he was unalived because of what?
Because of his political views or racist views or racist rhetoric or even trans rhetoric. I don't think that somebody did that. I think that it's a much bigger play. I think that it's more at stake than somebody running their mouth. People been talking crazy for a long time. And like I said, you got now listen, I didn't even finish this point. This is why I really don't like it, because if somebody did that to Dr. Umar or somebody did that to like Nuri Muhammad or any, like, still, even though we don't perceive what he's saying as racist, people be saying like Farrakhan is the most racist person in the world. I've never heard that from Farrakhan. All the time I hear Farrakhan like talking about history, and I hear him talking about like how he feels and this and that. But it's not that bad. But to other people, it's the worst thing ever. Like when we hear Charlie Kirk, it's the worst thing ever. But to them, they just think he just saying something everybody else been scared to say. So,
but I think that's the point, though, bro. I think when it comes to politics, that's one thing. But when it comes to race, to your point, like Nuri Muhammad, there are certain things that he can say, or Dr. Umar, there are certain things that he could say that automatically will trigger something that will, from a white person's perspective, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, they would say, that's racist. We can't have that.
Right.
That is something. They're triggered in that way. Any little thing that from our standpoint, like you're just telling historical facts about what happened in this nation. But I think that's something that we as Black people could learn from, because regardless of your political affiliation, I think the thing that would benefit us is having a common mindset, whether, you know, from your social views, however that thing is. I think for Black people, we have to have a common thread of lifting us up. And that can't be just a thing that's driven by how much money you make or what's your political affiliation or where you live. Because from a white person standpoint, I think if they hear Black people talking about as a group trying to elevate, they feel like they automatically are taking a back seat, and they can't have that. And that, I think that's the lesson to be learned, you know, from group. They will come together quick. If you see any type of, you know, even when we had a Black president, there weren't a lot of Black initiatives on the table, and people kill Obama for, people now say he didn't do anything for us. But I think that politically his hands were tied too, because Republicans and Democrats to a certain degree ain't trying to have us win. So, you know, that's always going to be in the conversation.
And when you see what took place with Obama being becoming president, Obama is a highly intelligent man. Highly intelligent, been to law school, all type of stuff, highly intelligent, right? So they looked at that as a point of putting that we got one of our highly intelligent people to be president, to represent. We said this is a Black president. And what they got so offended by that they wanted to show us that they could use one of the lowest in their community, meaning Trump. They could find somebody at the lowest level and say, hey, he's better than what your best can do. And Trump has been completely horrific as a president. There's no way that you could be impeached in your first term. There's no way that any of the stuff that he did, Obama would have ever been allowed to run again for president. There's no way. And then he goes up against Kamala Harris, who is also a highly intelligent person representing the Black community. And what they're trying to tell us is that, hey, this white man is far superior to anybody, regardless of what. And he's not there's nothing that's knowledgeable about Trump. And to be honest, let's be clear. I think Trump is just a figurehead. He's basically like a mascot for the powers that be that really runs this country. And they put him out there to say all type of crazy stuff to distract everybody from what really is going on, which is we're looking at wealth hijackings in this country. What he did with Elon Musk in the first 100 days and all them programs that they stopped and this and that and transferred wealth. Trump has never been a billionaire, right? While he was out here, it was all smoke and mirrors on stuff. Check his finances and stuff now. How does he become a billionaire while he's in the office of being president? Because they have just hijacked. They cost people jobs and took that money and transferred wealth to him, Elon Musk, and all other people. And this is what it has been. It has been a hijacking of this country. And why? So I guess it is good now that we take a minute to take a little break on something to put out some points besides sports, because we have been distracted by all type of other stuff, sports and everything else, as truly what's really taking place in this country that we live in here right now.
Well, one interesting thing that's happening is this Epstein story. So the Epstein situation to me is breadcrumbs as to why some of this stuff gets more interesting, with Kirk being assassinated and so on and so forth. Because when you look at it, you say, well, Epstein was huge for a lot of the Trump supporters. The QAnon fam, they was Epstein. They thought that when Trump got elected, that he was going to release these files and lock up all of these predators that had been trafficking these young kids. And it's a big deal. And Kirk, I think that was a serious issue for him and the people that he was leading. They had this Christian conservative movement. And what that is it's arrest all of these creeps, these Hollywoods, these perverts, like he's rallying the troops behind this thing. And now all of a sudden, no, we're not going to release these things, these tapes. I think that got Charlie Kirk. He didn't like it. He don't like that Trump is doing that. And I've brought up that to say something else. Trump has these tactics to divert our attention away from these Epstein files. I'm not taking it that far, but I'm saying this is good politically for Trump that this happened, because it takes the heat off of the Epstein files, plus one of the people who was spearheading that movement now, which is Kirk, the fan base, the people. I mean, Trump might not even care about a fan base because he can't run again, so he might not care, but just that corralling of those particular people was something else that Trump did that I thought was interesting was he released the National Guard on the inner city. And to me, that was like throwing red meat to the dogs to say, look, here's more stuff. Look at me. I'm hard on these blacks. I'm hard on these people that Charlie Kirk is the whole time he's out here running that same campaign. Blacks don't got fathers in the homes. Blacks ain't smart enough. Blacks don't got this. Like, and the things that he's saying to me, I don't want to battle him on that, because I think that these things are true, but the why is a variable as well. And if you're not bringing that up, you talking loud and not saying nothing for real, because you're not diagnosing what's really going on,
So what you mean? What things are you saying that are true?
What things? Because I want our family unit tighter. I don't want our neighborhood to have trash on the ground. I don't want bros to be feeling like we inferior for nothing, and I think that we can elevate, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with me. Listen, the things he's saying may be true, but when you say it, you're talking out of turn. You talking out
Right.
of turn because it's offensive. It's offensive for you as the person to say, like if I take all of your books and then make fun of you because you can't read, and it's like, bro, like, yeah, what you saying don't make no sense for real. You
Yeah,
know
it's
good and well you're the reason why this is happening, yet you're teasing me about it. It's silly,
yeah,
you know. It don't work.
that's definitely true. Because what has happened is you talk about taking the fathers out of the household, but everything that you ever done was to take black men out of the household
They
and to weaken
incentivize,
and,
yes,
and,
yeah,
and weaken the family. So when there was financial aid given to a black woman to raise her kid, but the black man can't be in the household if you're going to receive
right,
these funds. And then,
right,
so when this black man is out here trying to do this now, oh, we take them to jail. We're going to incarcerate and put the prisons in and make it where it's more black men being housed in the prison than out here in the community able to do things. So that is a very good analogy of how you're looking at it, because you're part of the problem, and then you want to criticize me, and you think that I'm supposed to listen to what you're saying. And then with
right.
that being said, of talking about distractions with the Epstein files and all this and that, what did they use as a distraction here? Diddy. Now we gonna use this, and we're gonna throw Diddy, we throw him under the bus for all the stuff that for the things that he did. And Diddy had committed a lot of crimes and stealing people's money and all that type of this and that. But that ain't what we're talking about. And then you get him on trial for something that really did not take place. He wasn't trafficking and running a prostitution ring, and now he's just sitting in jail because this is a distraction. So then when it comes time for something to come about, and we talk about Trump and him and Epstein and Trump and what went on there, we're
Right.
not gonna talk about it. We're gonna put it, we're gonna blast it
And
out. Hey, this was going on with the Diddy trial.
nephew hitting this on point right here. This is what it's about. Implicated in the Epstein files, and then truth be told, a good majority of people in the White House are, and not just in the White House, Nev. There's all people all across the world that are high-ranking officials that said, bro, don't release them files. We all in it. It's not a lot of pushback towards the Democrats. It's not a lot of pushback towards anybody. All are in it. All are in
Yeah,
it. So the public is wanting it, but the people that's in control to release it don't want it released because it's more than Trump. Like
exactly.
Trump is, everybody is probably in it, and that's pretty crazy if you think about it.
I think that part of that too is that when you were saying that it's, you know, you can, when the comments that someone like a Trump will make as the president, it is frustrating. Like if he says it, but he can't, he then, you know, it seems like he's sort of mocking or making a situation worse. From where I sit, that's the biggest sort of issue with not just with Trump. I think it becomes a situation with that that title, like president or even our government, because I think if nothing else, Trump has shown everyone the true power that the president does have. He has put the National Guard in DC. He's put the National Guard out in California. He's put the National Guard out in Chicago, so on and so forth. And
DC.
what I believe, for so long, we as Black people will say we have these concerns or we want to make these changes, and it's always these things have to be voted on, or we can't make this happen. And I think what Trump has shown, the president can make a lot happen if he wants it to. And I think that, whether, once again, to go back to the whole conversation around your political stance, I think that for us, we have to realize that, you know, that isn't going to be the answer for us, because it hasn't been, historically speaking. They haven't really done anything that really has put us in a better position. So when you look at the Democrats and you look at the track record of like a Joe Biden and some of the policies and systems that he's put in place, you would say, damn, that may be racist, some of your positions that you have had. And I think that one thing that you can look at that's consistent is that regardless of your, like I said before, your political affiliation, more times than not, they have shown a willingness to do something specifically for us. And that is problematic because we consistently are in support of them. And not that, that is wrong, but I think to have a feeling that they are going to help us is because typically that is a problem. That is a problem. We have to help us. And I think that if we don't, we will ultimately suffer for that.
And we have suffered from it. And the thing is with saying that Trump has been vocal and talking and putting on bravado. But a lot of stuff, that's why some things have not taken place because Trump gets to talking too much and he don't have the power to do certain things. And the reason I think some of the other government officials crumble is because there's somebody bigger in power behind this than Trump. And the whole Epstein's file thing, I think, is being kept secret because it's going to reveal a bigger scandal that has gone on for many, 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 many years. And that's what they're trying to keep hitting. Now, it may be something that generations from now come up. And then now it's all revealed the same way that things got revealed in our generation that took place earlier in life. Then when it doesn't matter and the people and the parties involved are dead and gone, now everything comes about and it's talked about. But everybody was here that was going through it. It'll never be revealed to us. And that's the sad thing about this, because this is just truly what the foundation of America is. And so with that being said, that I asked that we talking about this political stuff. So I asked this to now of what the topic of the show was about. Should athletes be role models? So now, if we have athletes that speak out onto this platform, should athletes be role models and have the freedom to speak out and be able to be like how Muhammad Ali was back in the day, that he spoke about real issues and life issues from politics and everything, because that's not something that we see a lot now from today's athletes.
I think that ultimately, whether they want to or whether they don't, they're going to be. And the ones that stand for something that's righteous and stand for something that's going to have a bigger impact or effect on us as a community, they're going to be a role model. It's just that comes with the territory. Again, it's not whether or not they should be. It's just that they're going to be because of what those positions are, and unfortunately, whether you want it or you don't, you're going to be in that position. So you're going to have, it's a responsibility. And if you don't want to be a role model and you decide to act foolishly in that position, you're going to be treated. And I think it's unfair either way, because you don't necessarily get a chance to opt in or opt out. You hear so many times, just like I'll use myself as an example. When a few weeks ago we were talking about John Morant didn't necessarily ask for the attention that he got, but for me, I would say, like I said, I feel like those decisions that he made were stupid. But he didn't ask for that. He just want to hoop, hang with his boys, and do what he want to do. But given the level of his talent, he's put in a position where people view him. Young kids, they're always going to say you're a role model, or people look at you in a different regard. And not understanding he's a 20-something-year-old young man and he may make mistakes, but it comes with the territory. And I think that ultimately you don't get to choose. You know what I mean? Once you're in that position, it comes with it. So you don't get to ask.
You can't choose how somebody views you.
No.
You know what I mean? And that could be a good person, bad person, whatever it might be. You just are yourself. And if people gravitate towards you, then that's what it is. But I think the question is like, should they be? No, they should not be. They should not be, because they might not have the same values as you, as a family, as a father, as a whatever. And your kids looking up to somebody. For basketball, they can be a role model. They can say, oh yeah, I like the way he played a game. But as far as, like, I guess with social media, you can get more insight on somebody acts off the court, but I don't see how they would be trying to be like a Ja Morant or be like in any other way except for the sport.
Well,
Like, how would they even be a role model for your kid? Like, where are they consuming enough of Ja Morant for your child to be acting like?
But that's not about the person.
I get what you're saying, like because they don't know him, and that goes to the statement that a lot of older people will say. That's why you never want to meet your hero, because you really don't get enough of them to truly know them. But
right
in today's world, if you are a professional athlete, if you are a celebrity, you are an entertainer, because the way our society, as Will stated here, our a celebrity-loving country dictates that you as a professional athlete will be a role model, whether you want to accept it or not, because we are a celebrity-worshiping country. So now every time somebody's a celebrity, well, he makes X amount of dollars, he makes this amount of dollars. And we like, oh, well, that's what you want to be like. And you want to be like them because we're looking at it from a monetary state. But that person could be piss poor morally. And you don't know this about them until you meet them. But yet they have to project a certain image in order to keep making this money. So now people are looking at them saying, oh, this is a role model. This is a role model, when probably he might not be somebody that you would even want to talk to or be around you at all. But that happens. But in this society, in order to play this game in this society that we live in, you have to be a role. You have to somewhat take on the responsibility of being a role model.
Now, look, I can say that people might act like a rapper or an actor or somebody they might see on TV. And then maybe somebody might like dress like them or get their hair like this person or something like that. But, you know, as far as being somebody that they look up to and they emulate, I think that would be kind of tough to do. But I know what you're saying. But athletes, though, man, no, don't let your kids. I don't know. I mean, I guess so. I guess it's okay. I mean, would you want your child looking up to LeBron James as a role model?
For what we know of LeBron, my fault, because what we know of LeBron, of what we see of LeBron in the public eye, of what he does with school, giving money, that type of stuff. Yes, I would want him to look up to that aspect of him, but we don't personally know. You know what I'm saying? We just know for the surface of what is given to us or what appears to be LeBron. But there may be some things about LeBron that goes on in his household that I may not would want my child or nieces or nephew to look up to and be like. But then that's where you are supposed to come in at and give them value, so that there's not all this looking up to celebrities and athletes and everything like that. Everybody, to be honest, I think we all are role models and have to take on that responsibility. Yeah. We just may not know it because with you owning T-shirt Kings and have gold for your mouth and all the business and stuff you may have done, you may not know that there's some kid that look up to you. And that look up to you.
No. Every child does. Every child looks up to me.
I like that, bro.
Exactly. So we all have to be some type of role model in some type of situation, that you being there for people and you gotta show something. So we all are role models. So there's no way that I think athletes can get out of playing that role. But I also don't think that people should put so much on them. It's not their job to raise your kids. You know what I'm saying? And that type of stuff, because you really don't know who they truly are at the core. Period.
Yeah, that's what
But
I
it's
was going
good to
to
have
say.
good people in those high ranking positions, though.
Athletes,
I mean, it's good for them to be good. Yes, man. They do. They need to.
no, I was just
Yes,
saying
they getting
when you say
part of them
high
getting
ranking
paid
position,
should be to be a good person too, man. Seriously.
But I mean, you
I don't
can't
think
put that
so.
because I mean, you got owners of teams and everything. We don't know if they good people. I mean, getting money does not dictate what type of person you are. If you're a good person or bad person, that's not.
Right, but
We'll never know that because, to be honest, probably the majority of wealthy people, billionaires and stuff like that, that own corporations that run this stuff around here, probably the majority of them are assholes and don't
oh,
really care about the well-being of most people, because all they care about is the bottom line of what the profit statement says.
Yeah, and
I would
for
hope
me,
not.
it's sort of shift a little bit. I don't necessarily think it's as much on the athlete. They're living their life and they got that thing to go through. I look at the role models point. I think you got to know the why, especially when you're talking about kids. Because for me, that's why I personally feel that I was
Yes.
fortunate because I didn't have no sports role model. I truly didn't. My grandfather and my dad, they were like my heroes. And I didn't live with my father, but he was present. And for me, it was like I looked at them like with so much reverence and respect that they were my heroes, really. So, but my why was because they were investing in me. I didn't look at Magic Johnson like he was my role model. He wasn't taking care of me, but I can understand for someone if they didn't have that person in their lives, how they could easily look at those people and see the things that they have and be able to say, oh, that's a role model for me. And for me, that was always a challenge. Now that I have a son, I want him to look at me like I looked at my dad because it wasn't just my father. He was my hero. I thought he could lift a building up if need be when I was a kid. And I think that's the real thing when you think about should they be role models? And I would say, well, ask the kid why.
And
Because
I
at a young age, I knew what they were putting in me, and that's why they meant so much to me.
and so when you say that, cuz and I am the same way that I had my father and grandfathers that I looked up to, and I never was looking for a father figure. So when y'all say things about like me being uncoachable or stuff like that, or having battles with coaches, that was because so many coaches don't know how to actually be a coach, and they so worried about being a father figure that you don't know how to deal with a kid that doesn't need a father. I'm not looking to near coach. Never in life have I looked to anybody else or any other man or anything to look to be, oh, I need you to be a father figure to me. Lonnie Gilbert was my father. And he raised me. He taught me. He gave me great value, morals, work ethic, everything. I ain't looked to nobody else. So there was nobody else that could come in. And if you came in without understanding how to play your role and be able to coach me in basketball and help me be a better basketball player, and you're trying to be my father, we were going to bump heads all day, every day, because I was now going to challenge you on what you know about what you are supposed to be, my coach. And when you could not fulfill that role, do not talk to me, period. Just let me have the ball. I go play ball and don't say nothing to me because I do not need a father. And that's
Hey,
where I think a
Ray,
lot of people
you
fail
can't
at.
have that attitude, Ray. You
Man,
still on the team. You
it
said don't
doesn't.
say nothing to me and let me hoop
Hey,
to the
that
coach.
took place. Yes, that
You
definitely took
can't do
place.
that, Ray.
Man, the conversation I had with the coach my senior year of high school was those exact words, and we did not talk to each other. I just play basketball because I don't need a father figure. I'm not looking for a father figure. So when you come in with the thing of, oh, I'm a father figure to these kids, and no, you play your role, and your role is be a coach. And when you don't know how to do that, you're going to when you have somebody like me, you're going to have problems because everybody don't need a father. know how to be your role. That's why as a coach and a trainer and everything, I'm not out there trying to be a father figure to anybody. And that's why most of my players, they decided to start calling me Unc. And I'll take that, and that's cool with that as an Unc, because I'm not trying to be your father. But an uncle can play a role where he helps you with growing as a man, and also can probably say a little more to you on certain things that because you might confide a little more in your uncle than you confide into your father. But I'm not trying to be your father. And that's where a lot of coaches go wrong with. And it's only effective with those kids who coming from these single family homes and they have their mothers and I ain't never had a dad in my life. Well, what can you do with somebody who don't? And that's why I say, so with the role model thing, I think it takes on so many different things. And I don't think that you should have to look to athletes to be a role model. But unfortunately for the athletes, that is a role that they end up playing because people look up to them because of their talents and then how much money they make. And that's what we put on a pedestal to say this is a role model. But that don't mean that this man is making the right decisions behind closed door every day in life. And that's why we get disappointed when you end up hearing some things and finding out truly of who they are in life.
Hey, I got a question for y'all real quick now. We'll lighten up just a little. In football, bro, why do the coaches cover their mouth up when they talk in the camera on them? They put the play call sheet above their mouth. Why are they doing that?
Because they know that they're on TV, and now they invest so much money and time into finding out stuff. If they can read your lips or find out in any way that what you're saying, the other team wants to know exactly what you're saying, so you always cover up. Or things.
I thought it was illegal to steal signs. Like Belichick got in trouble for stealing signs
in practice. Somebody practice.
If you're talking in the midst of a game,
hold on, wait a minute now. You mean to tell me if I read somebody's lips, that's not stealing signs?
It is, but
it's not illegal if you do it. It's not illegal
if you're doing it in the game. Yeah, you in the game and you see that somebody calling the signal. Everybody do that. So even if you watch film of somebody in a game, you can see what plays is being called and what they're doing and what signs they put up. The problem with when you bringing up what Belichick them got in trouble with was because they were illegally filming somebody else's practice. That's what they got in trouble for.
In game.
I know that, but it just kind of seems like they'll read somebody else's lips to see what they was doing. How that somebody told them like, oh, that we used to read lips on TV, and from there on, everybody covers their lips when they talk.
Well, you see it in every sport. I mean, when people talk in basketball, they cover their lips. I mean,
why are they doing that?
No. That's players do that when they talk.
Know what they're saying.
Right, when they talking amongst each other because they don't want something to be taken out of context and then all this social media stuff. Oh, we read his lips, he did this, did that. Now in basketball, ain't nobody covering their lips to call plays because you coming down the court and you yelling out the play, putting signals up, everything. Everybody know what you're saying and what's going on. But when the pro players are talking amongst each other, they put because they don't want something to be taken out and then it being ran, and now it's viral and all that type of stuff. So that's why they cover their mouth to do that. So
interesting. But covering I always wondered, like, this whole football language is another thing. I want to learn a language. How can I learn a football language? Or can you give me an example of a football language? Because you got to learn the whole playbook. It's a new language.
It is because I mean, in one play, they say a play is almost on offense. Defense, our plays aren't as much as on the offensive side.
Call a play. Let me hear you call a play. Call a play.
I can't remember us. I'm a DB, so we would call 64 angle fire cover 3, but that's just simple. You playing a base defense, you may have your stud linebacker blitz, and we in a cover 3 zone. But
so that's what y'all say in the huddle, and then y'all go out. So they
But that's the thing. That's what I was
on
saying.
three.
Most of the time, by the time I graduated, we didn't really huddle as much. That's what I was about to say. We would go with signs because a lot of time when I came out, that's when people initially started doing a little bit of the hurry up type of offense. And so we didn't huddle. We would either look to our linebacker, our Mike, he would give us signals, or we would look to the sideline and they would tell us what coverage we in. I was a field corner, so I would take the strength of the offense and go to that side of the field. And we would figure out, the safeties, they had the most to do in the secondary because, your strong safety is going to have run responsibilities for more times than not. And he has to line up differently. But as a corner, you don't change a lot as far as your alignment, but what your responsibilities are, they change. Now, on offense, it can get a lot more complex because not only do you have a long play call, you may have two of them called in the huddle. You might go to another one, and it's a lot. It's a lot to know. You got to have line protections, a formation, personnel groupings, what the routes are, what the checks are. All of that stuff has to be said within like 15 seconds and then go and check again at the line depending on what the defense is. So it is almost like learning a new language. And if you don't know what you're supposed to do, that's what lands you on the bench.
Right.
So it's a lot. It's a lot. The offensive playbooks, especially in the NFL, you hear some of the calls, man. It's like, golly, what is all that you have to say? But
right.
And then us on defense, I'll tell you the truth. We used to listen and try to figure out, or if you're on the sideline of the opposing team, you're gonna listen and try to figure out what their signs are, what they check to. And sometimes you can pick up on stuff. So to your point, I'm always, when I'm on the sideline, I'm looking to see what their OC or whoever is sending in signals, trying to find the tail to know what they're doing. So that's why you have people covering their mouths, or you have two people sending in signs on both teams. We had two people sending in signs for our defense. Only one of them was hot though. And
right.
So that's how it goes, and you see that all throughout the game. If you look tonight, you'll see somebody doing that.
Will say he can imagine a big X came up on your screen while you was trying to describe a play.
Oh no, you got to understand. I was a captain. I ran our defense.
So look at here. So we started a new week. Saying the first week of football ended last week, and on Tuesday we went over our games, and we didn't have nothing on paper that we remember who said what, and we think Ahava might have fabricated a few games in there that he claimed he won. So starting tonight, we already got the Commanders and the Packers going. It's about close to halftime now, I think, and the Packers are up. What's y'all take?
Started the second half. They up 17-3.
All right, so
Green Bay is right.
So look, we won't even, let's not even worry about doing Thursday nights, because since we on here watching Thursday nights, unless we want to try to be creative and see if you think Washington got a chance of coming back and winning.
I do not.
Yes,
I do not.
Okay.
They down by 14, so they're gonna have to put the ball in the air, and Michael Parsons is hunting. So no, I don't think they can get it done.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So how about we got you down as you picked the Commanders to come back and win this game. So on Tuesday, we
think they can.
Oh, okay. So you're not picking them. We won't even worry about this game as far as the pick. So there, let's go to the Sunday's 1 o'clock game. So we got quite a few interesting matchups. It look like some divisional matchup games too. So first being Giants and the Cowboys. Who y'all rolling with?
I'm gonna go with Dallas, but that's a pick'em game, man. I like that comment from Terrell, man. That is true. That a good coach recognizes what players need, what players have certain needs and some don't. I think that I was beneficial in that Because I never really had coaches that tried to do more than what was necessary. That for the most part, all my coaches in my entire journey in sports, they always were cool, and we didn't really have issues in that way. Now, don't get me wrong, I had some coaches that I had issues with, but it was never a situation where it was like, man, you're trying to do too much. It was just
And
always something that happened.
that's definitely a good comment from Terrell, because if you ever played against Terrell, played with Terrell, Terrell is a fiery player. You know what I'm saying? That was going to play hard and compete all the time. And he played with a lot of passion and stuff like that. So, sometimes people can take that the wrong way when somebody plays as hard as he does and put everything into him. Like, I remember when we played them senior year, and I think it was about 18 points or something like that. And I think Terrell goaltended at least 6 or 7 of my shots.
Man,
not every shot.
I was going to say, man, is that what we call it?
Might have goaltended every one.
There was times when Terrell was out of control, man. We played Patterson like, dude, are you going to stop blocking these layups? Why are you doing that? Those are points, man.
I remember in the game, I was like, so you just go keep going and everything. He said, every time I see you in here, I'm gonna get it. I think
it was just too
literally,
much, man.
I think it might have been at least 8 shots that he goaltended of mine that night. That's how I got my point. Shout out to my boy Terrell, though. That's my dog. So, how about who you got for the Giants Cowboys?
Who's quarterbacking for the Giants?
Russell Wilson.
Oh, Russell Wilson.
But they might bring in Jackson Dart because Russell Wilson didn't have a good game last week. But they have a terrible offensive line.
He can never forget he's black. He'll be replaced faster than a New York Minute. Give me Dallas.
All right. I'm gonna pick Dallas too. That's what somebody, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Dallas. So then we got the Seahawks and the Steelers.
Somebody. What you mean? That's what somebody was. Somebody told you to pick that, or
No. I really don't want to pick Dallas, but yeah, I'm gonna have to roll with it against because I just I have no confidence in the Giants. Let me say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I really don't want to. I don't
good.
want to pick the Cowboys, but I just have no confidence in the Giants. So next game we got the Seahawks and the Steelers. So I'm not even gonna ask Bone. We already know who his selection is on that one, and who you got, Cuz.
Go ahead and pick Seattle so you can lose some ground.
This is a tough one for me because we do got Ricky White Jr. He's playing out there with the Seahawks. I think he's playing on
special teams.
Maybe special teams, or he might be on the practice squad, but he's still with the team out there. So I definitely want to see him do well and succeed. But until they start letting him play like they should and let him go out there and run it up,
so you pivoting like that?
I'm going to pick Tay Boogie and my brother Bone. Both of them like Pittsburgh. And so by default, I like Pittsburgh too. So I wanted to do good. And I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers, by the way.
What?
My pick is for a different reason, and I'm going strictly off the fact that Mike Tomlin is the coach. So I'm gonna ride with the Steelers on this one. That's the reason. So now next up we got the Rams and the Titans. What's y'all say?
Boring.
Rams all day.
Who's the Rams quarterback?
Cam Ward,
Cam Ward is in Titan. It's the Titans.
Yeah, Titans.
But, I'm for Cam Ward.
Matthew Stafford is the Rams.
I'm going Cam Ward. Cam Ward, bro.
All right.
I'm gonna get that's points for me.
Yeah, me and you. That's a divide between us. So one of us is gonna win.
So
no, I know the Rams are going to win that game.
Me being from going to Tennessee State and being in Nashville, I'm riding with the Titans. I'm riding with the Titans.
I'm one up on both of y'all now.
All right, now we got the Bills versus the Jets. Where we
Bills.
wrote,
Bills. The
Bro, you
I'm
got to
rolling.
pick the black quarterback, bro.
They not
I
losing.
will.
Ahavai, you got to pick the black quarterback.
I didn't pick
No,
him
I
last
will.
week. I picked Lamar Jackson, our superhero. And I
No,
didn't pick
this
him.
week
I didn't pick
the
him.
Jets. The
we
Jets
talking about the
have
Jets.
Justin Fields. The Jets have Justin Fields.
I know, but what I'm telling you is last week I picked the Bills, even when Lamar Jackson played them. I'm not
You're
picking
not-
against the Bills until a particular
You're
team.
not
and
loyal,
I gotta
man.
see a team that I think can beat the Bills for me to pick against them.
Oh, well, I got the
The
Jets. I picked the Jets to be that team to beat them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Now
Now
we
we
know
got
I'm up. Hold on, wait a minute. One thing that we know for sure is that I picked the Bills and y'all picked the Ravens. So if we don't know no other
The
game,
Ravens should have
biggest
won the
of the
game.
week,
The Ravens should have won.
I know, but they didn't know, bro. So I'm up.
All right.
So
You're
that's
not
We'll
up.
give
We
you-
didn't count none of the results. You lost way more games than what you won.
I see. Come on, man. The only game we all sure that we picked was that one.
That might
All
be
right.
true.
And Pittsburgh, you didn't pick Pittsburgh.
Yes, I
Well,
did
well,
because I said for Tay, didn't I? Remember?
No, you
I
did
said
not.
Tay. I always pick Pittsburgh for Tay. What are you saying?
You were just saying how you weren't going to pick Pittsburgh.
I picked them tonight.
So next
I had to
Next
give
we
a
got
shout out
the-
to Ricky White Jr.
we got the Patriots and the Dolphins. Who y'all got on this?
Baby.
I think I'll go with the
Patriots and the
this
Dolphins.
is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins though. I want to see Tua blow up. He got to have a good game too, or he gonna get benched too.
Yeah,
Who you got, cuz? Dolphins?
yeah.
He picking
I'm
whoever I pick, man. He know he about to lose.
Reluctantly. I mean, man, I love the Dolphins. I like fast-paced, high-octane teams like that, but they're not.
They
Throw the
look
ball.
trash.
What's
They
up with
got beat
Tyreek
by
Hill,
that
man?
30 last week by the Colts.
Why they not giving it to Tyreek Hill? What's going on?
I didn't watch that game, so I don't know what happened.
They just didn't play well. Tua didn't play well at all.
Obviously, you didn't give it to Tyreek Hill.
So next we got the Jaguars versus the Bengals.
The Bean Dogs. The Bengals, man. We gonna kill. But Travis Hunter, hold on. Travis Hunter, Jamar Chase. Travis Hunter, Jamar Chase. Come on. I'm rooting for Travis Hunter, but I want the Bengals to win it for sure.
All right, we all three of us agree on the Bengals then. Because I'm the same as you, because I'm rooting to see Travis play well, but for the Bengals to win. Now we have the 49ers. 49ers and the Saints.
What did he say?
I said they are ruining Travis Hunter.
Okay.
No, they
who's next? Cuz go. No.
49ers.
They got him playing wide receiver. Travis Hunter is a
49ers.
much better DB. He a better DB than he is a wide receiver. They trying to get him play offense for the sake of Trevor Lawrence. He a ball out of control, I believe, at corner. He's a better corner. Right. He's a natural corner. He'll be an all-pro corner if they let him play corner and situational wide receiver. They setting him up for failure having him play wide receiver that much because he's going to draw a top corner every week. It's hard for him to do that at that level. It's hard to do that anywhere. Nobody has ever played both ways consistently, and it's going to be hard for him to keep that up over time. I think it'd be easier for him to play DB and then play situational wide receiver, but they trying to get as many weapons for that quarterback as they can. And it doesn't benefit him because if he's not putting up stats,
he wants to play both, though. He wants to.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't play both. I'm saying play majority what you're best at. That's what I'm saying, because when he negotiates his contract, they're going to look at his productivity, and he's not going to be as productive playing the position most that he's not best at.
He'll be one of the highest paid players in NFL history.
All right, we got 49ers.
Crazy stuff, man.
we got the 49ers.
He'll be one of the highest paid players in NFL history. Mark my words. That's a for sure. That kid is going to be.
He's a generational talent.
He's all world. He's all world, man. You're gonna see he's gonna sign for the most. Go ahead, cuz who's next?
Next, we got for the 49ers and the Saints.
Get
I'm going with the Saints in that one.
I like the Saints. Huh, interesting. Bo, you picked the Saints.
It's only because I would have picked the 49ers, but Brock Purdy is dealing with some injuries. I don't know if he's going to make it through the game. I don't know if he's going to play either.
Who they backup quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who the
It may
Saints
be Trey
quarterback?
Lance. I think Trey Lance, ain't he? No,
He went back and he went to Dallas.
Yeah, I don't know who their backup is.
Who's the Saints quarterback? That's the black quarterback, ain't it?
Spencer Rattler, I think, was the starter.
I roll with the Saints. Now we got the Browns and the Ravens. I roll with the Ravens.
You gonna go with that DEI quarterback? That's what Shador said. My fault. Try to hit my little bro with the damn DEI. So hold on, I picked the Saints with you, cuz. Now hold on, we on the Browns and the Ravens or no?
Yep, Browns and the Ravens.
Y'all already picked? Yeah, Ravens.
All right.
You haven't picked the Browns once this year.
No.
Cool.
We know why.
All right. I won't pick. There's only one reason I ever pick the Browns. But then the last 1 o'clock game on Sunday is the Bears versus the Lions.
Oh,
The Bears.
Despite how good the Lions on paper are supposed to be.
I'm going Lions 1,000,000%. Cut the Bears grass, man. I'm a Leo, and a bear and a lion. People try to act like a bear can beat a lion in real life. It's not happening. So just like real life,
where did this come
we're
from?
gonna
I mean, in
do
real
the
life, they would never be in
dance.
the same place.
We're gonna do a dance on the Bears. Okay.
I'm a roll with the Bears.
Cause how could you run away from our zodiac?
Who's the quarterback for the Bears? Who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback?
Caleb Williams. That's
why,
why,
man. Stop being, man, bro. That's.
I got my reasons.
Oh, who you pick, Bo?
I'm Detroit. I'm going with
Thank
Detroit.
You.
I think Detroit
might.
Might lose that game though. Detroit might lose.
All right, now we got the 4 o'clock games. We got 4 of those. First one is
if Detroit actually wins that game, since you qualified, they kept saying they might lose. That don't count for you.
How?
You
just basically said you wanted to pick Seattle.
Qualify
and
now.
then
From now on,
you're picking
in our
Pittsburgh.
league, you cannot qualify your pick. You just say your pick. I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh, so you got the right to change it at any time?
About Ricky White's son played for Seattle then. Just say your pick.
Rick just brought up a very something I might do. Change my pick.
Okay.
No.
So next we got the Broncos and the Colts.
Broncos.
Colts.
I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Oh, I'm dancing. I'm winning easy.
Then we got the Panthers and the Cardinals.
Cardinals,
baby. Cardinals.
Yeah, we all rolling with the Cardinals. Panthers haven't looked too good. Oh, big matchup here. Eagles.
Man, that's
Chiefs.
crazy. That's a crazy one, bro.
Eagles.
Bro, why would they put the Eagles and the Chiefs at 4 o'clock instead of putting it at the Sunday night game? They put the Falcons and the Vikings Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't understand that schedule either,
bro. That's foolish stuff, man.
That is.
They supposed to show this at night. Eagles or the Chiefs, yo.
But I think the viewership. I think it's a toss-up, though. I think sometimes the 4 o'clock games get better viewership than the Sunday night game.
Yeah. Who you got?
That's a good game. I'm gonna go. Man, can the Chiefs start off 0-2?
They gonna start off 0-2. Pick them. You got. I mean,
on too. I mean,
how black do you want to be? Do you want Jalen?
exactly. No, because I'm for Patrick Mahomes. I like Patrick Mahomes is up there with me as far as quarterback. Like he's my favorite quarterback. Every time he wins, I'm happy. And I always want to see him win. I didn't want the Eagles to beat him this last time for it.
So he's gonna say all that, and then he's gonna pick the Eagles. Watch, I guarantee it. We don't want to hear all you qualifying your pick. Stop qualifying your pick, man. I don't want to hear all that.
I picked the Eagles. I just qualified worse than anything I've ever heard.
I picked the Chiefs.
Nice shot. Way to stand 10. That's what I wish I would have picked.
Now the last Sunday night game.
Now I do.
You changing your pick?
Yeah. That was fast.
It's terrible.
Man, we came full circle that quick.
So
dang, now hold on. No, I'm the Eagles, man. I think the Eagles gonna win. Saquon.
All right. So the last pick we got to for the Sunday night Falcons versus Vikings.
Vikings. JJ McCarthy balling out of control. Michigan quarterback.
JJ McCarthy looked good, but I like that. What did the Falcons lose this last week?
Yeah, with Michael Penix. They lost to the Buccaneers.
They lost at the end of the game, but they was battling and hanging in there. But the Vikings won in the end of the game, and the Falcons
Here we
lost
go
at
qualifying
the end of the game.
again, man.
So I'm not qualifying. I'm weighing the pick. I'm weighing the pick. This is a big deal. This is where I'm a give me the Vikings.
All right, I picked the Falcons.
Good shot, cuz.
Yeah.
I like
now this week we got 2 Monday night games. So we got a 7 o'clock and a 10 o'clock. So the first Monday night game is the Buccaneers and the Texans.
What a game.
Buccaneers. Blowout.
What a game. Now give me the kid.
Who's the Texas quarterback?
CJ Stroud.
Who's the Texans coach?
Oh, Reem. Hey man, people are going to say you racist, man. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be.
Come on, man.
I picked the Texans.
What have you picked a team that has a white quarterback over a team that has a black quarterback ever?
I may have.
I don't think you have, man. You gotta chill out.
Okay.
Who'd you just pick, man?
I picked
you heard Texans. What he said? He said, "Who is the coach? Who is the quarterback?"
I like that coach. He's actually related. He actually related to Andy, our boy Andy Smith. That's his cousin. So I'm riding with my boy's cousin. So that's why
I'm Texans too. I want to see the Texans win. Both teams are good, but I think the Texans gonna win it.
All right. Now the last Monday night game we got is the Chargers versus the Raiders.
Chargers
all day. Hey, I'm a big
I like
fan
Geno
too.
Smith a lot. I like Geno, so I'm riding with the Raiders.
Man. I'm all for you making these picks based on the quarterback. That just means I'm going to win. I want to win.
Well, African American quarterbacks was 5-11 this week. So
that's a good point. I mean, some of them played against each other. So I wonder how
some played against black quarterbacks.
Yeah. So how you? I don't know how we classify that one, but
I'll get I'll find the real statistic that I want to prove.
So, are there any good college matchups this weekend
They're inferior.
that we need to talk about? Any? Because I know this is the type of season.
There's a couple. You got Tennessee and Georgia. That's gonna be a good one.
That's a good one.
They playing in Georgia, in Knoxville, or in Tennessee rather, in Knoxville.
Give me Tennessee.
I think Georgia's gonna beat the brakes off of Tennessee. It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get real ugly.
Andy, bro. This Fearless and Andy.
Any other? Because I know this is still the time of year you catch a lot of
Yeah,
big
it's gonna be a
schools
lot of
playing
cream
some.
puffs this week.
I want to see Arch Manning again, though. I'm interested, man. We didn't
Uh-oh.
talk about that, about the redemption. How well he played. I think 6 total touchdowns. He played very well. You know,
I don't think
he protected the
that can't be
football.
a redemption game. I
Not
don't think that's
yes.
a
And he had
redemption game.
redemption.
No,
No,
not in
because he
that
didn't
game.
play against a quality opponent. He just, I mean, his mentality gonna feel better, but that's expected. Like Alabama lost to Florida State the following week. They put up like 60-something points against some cream puffs, and Ohio State they beat the brakes off of Grambling. And
Yeah, I mean,
those type of games, you can't use that as a measuring stick for how good or bad you are.
Will said game of the
Washington
week
touchdown, you guys.
is Morehouse
Washington
versus Howard.
touchdown.
So what do y'all think about that? Game of the week, Will State
I
is
told y'all they
Morehouse
was coming
versus
back.
Howard.
Is it a classic game where they playing that?
Probably. That's a good question. I would say probably at Howard because does Morehouse
If it's
either
at Howard, that's gonna be a big deal, man. That's a big
Morehouse versus Howard. Wow, 2 legendary schools, man.
yeah, so you got
see the energy
Howard.
you put into that jump.
they playing.
You see that? You didn't
They
put
playing
that.
it.
You was like,
They playing in New Jersey.
No,
So
I'm excited to hear about that. I think it's a good. I want to see the game. And
so yeah, it must be a classic that they playing in New Jersey. So yeah, it must be a classic. So you got the battle. You got the battle of Spike Lee and cameras along with Baby Oil on the field from Howard. So that should be should be a classic matchup.
Listen, man. Seeing as I'm married to a Howard alum, man, that is their history is a lot more distinguished than one Mr. Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Oh yeah,
Period.
most definitely. Most definitely. It's just hey, the show is called for shits and giggles, so you got to get a joke in here.
I say I'm riding with the wife. We ain't riding with Diddy right now, man.
Hey, you don't have to ride with him, but you can't get away from him. He is Howard because y'all was riding with him for a long time when he was doing stuff. Don't turn your back on him now.
No, you will be surprised. Now that I can see, a lot of people was not there with you know what I mean when he was blowing up. I guess you get close to a situation, people know what it is. A lot of people there was like, he ain't our dude. But I think it was more so at that time. A lot of people there was a lot of like homosexual talk about him, and people were saying that he was gay and stuff. And I had never heard such a thing, but people were saying that way back in the day about Puffy, and they were sort of distancing themselves when I went up there.
I think he what I never liked about him was just some of his business tactics or how he's treated his artists and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I mean, when everybody coming from your camp talking about they done got beat out of money, then hey, there's some validity to that. Everybody saying that they get not getting paid what they were supposed to be paid, get publishing rights gone, this and that. So that's what I say. I didn't care for his business tactics, but I don't like how he's being railroaded now because that's not the crime that he should be on trial for.
Man, the main reason why I don't like Puffy is from Tupac. Like the Tupac beef. I'm still with that. I'm still on that.
I didn't have no
but that's the real reason why I just never got into Puffy though. Like, I never could understand it. But I do think
Puffy
that he got railroaded. He got railroaded,
Yeah. So then also this weekend it's a big $200+ million fight purse that's on the table for I know
Terrence Crawford all day, man. Terrence Crawford.
That's are you rolling with him just because his name Terrence or?
Two things. His name is Terrence, and we sort of shared the same hand game. And and he black. He black.
black.
I mean, they almost sound the same. Ulster, Crawford,
It do.
There.
So I'm rolling with Bud too, man. But he says
I
that maybe
will have to say though, I'm scared for him though. You just don't
Canelo.
go up you don't go up 3 weight classes and fight a dude, man. I think that is going, hopefully I think in his favor, I think he walks around naturally at around 160, 170, I think. I might be wrong. But they
Get
said
that.
I didn't get to see the weigh-in. They said at the weigh-in, Bud looked like he was bigger than Canelo. I didn't see it though.
But
Man,
that's the thing,
I just
so
think it's hard, especially as you get into the later rounds. If you don't gain that much weight and have to fight with it, I just think that can be a challenge. I still definitely think Bud is gonna win. I think he's gonna knock him out. But
what they fighting at? Well, wait,
167. He is naturally he fights at 140 something, like 140. He went up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo.
So this is what I asked on that then, because if he's naturally walking around at 165, that's his walk around weight. Is it really that hard to then?
That's what I'm saying. I think that if he naturally walks around like that, I don't know, but I think that he naturally is bigger when when he's not cutting for a fight, and I hope that he can fight with it. You know what I mean? Because he's never fought 3 weight classes up.
Right. I get
he's
that.
Typically fighting 140, I think 147, something like that. But that's a jump, man. That's a big jump. And Canelo, he normally walks around, I think, like 190. You know what I mean? And he's just a bigger man.
So they're doing a lot of cutting in just to make these weight classes for fights. So saying that Bud
that's why Floyd was so sweet. He fought at his natural weight. Like that, he didn't really have to cut or nothing. He just was cold. Just do what he do.
Yeah, so Bud is scheduled to make 50 million and Canelo between 100 to 150. Do you think there should be that big of a difference in the pay as far as the draw the name?
Say
for
that
the
again.
Fight?
What's the difference?
That Bud scheduled to make 50 million and Canelo is saying between 100 to 150.
What?
Do you guys think that? Do you see something that's like a problem with all of this though? Like boxing and fighting, and I don't know, man. To me, I just think that I don't like it. The fighting and the boxing. I mean, I suppose it's a sport, but seems like it's something a little goofy about it, man. When
you say goofy, do you mean like it's barbaric?
I think like you're exploiting. Yeah, barbaric. I think that exploitation.
You can say that about any sport, there.
I was about to say, I think football can be viewed by certain people as barbaric.
It is in a certain way. Like the coaching of it is disrespectful, but the boxing is barbaric, and it's just crazy, like punching somebody till they get knocked out and knocked unconscious and trying to like really like knock somebody unconscious.
Well,
it's actually the money pit, and you get all the people around watching it. I mean, I suppose it's a sport, but when you look at it, like,
is it not the first? Is it not the first sport? Because if you look at going back to the gladiator time, that's exactly what that was, right? And that was sport. Everybody in the town came out exactly and put all the money on it, bet and everything, and so it's actually probably the first ever sport.
Yeah, I think so.
It's the
first one. It's the first one that we probably thinking about, but we probably been developed all type of sports and stuff way before the Romans then came with the gladiator stuff,
But which sports are there any that exist now that you don't view as somewhat exploitive in nature? Or
it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum of all gladiator type of thing, but the boxing to somebody is unconscious, to me, is overly brutal, and it could turn out bad. I mean, it hasn't happened, but It's tough.
That's not
And
boxing now.
It's a point system.
It's a point system. You don't even have to knock somebody out. That was the thing that Floyd
that's
sort of
the goal.
highlighted with his
That's the
style.
goal.
That's not the goal. He said the goal was I hit you more than you hit me. And that's what made him so different. He's like, you're not going to hit me. His defense was unmatched. And not everybody can do that.
But I think Floyd is an outlier, though. Floyd he's an exception to the rule because most fighters do want to knock you out. Floyd, maybe not. And then you can maybe find 10 or 12 other boxers that ain't like that. But the fans want to see a knockout. The boxer is known for his greatness by how many knockouts he has. So the art of knocking somebody out is something in itself. So you want to see a knockout. It's not no point system that points are there to make the fight get calculated, but it's not the goal. I mean, Mike Tyson, he's the best because he gets it over with.
That depends on the fans, and that just highlights where you are as a fan. Because some fans, they do thirst for the knockout. They have a desire to see that. But there's some people who would classify themselves as true boxing fans, and I'm not one of them. But they'll say you got to understand the sweet science of boxing, and that is necessarily hitting a person while you don't get hit. And that ain't necessarily why I enjoy boxing. I enjoy boxing just the whole spectacle of it. I think it's dope. I want to go to Vegas to see a fight. I think that would be the event for me. Is sweet.
Floyd's career kind of took off even more where he talked about him as far as being the greatest when he started to have hand problems and probably had less knockouts.
And he never knocked people out.
But he was going to work on folks, you know what I'm saying, and beating people, and they was like it was a masterpiece of what he was doing in there. So looking at it, Will just highlighted that. I did read that earlier. Canelo has a 4-fight deal with the Saudis. I think his deal for the 4 fights is like a 400 or 500 million. But I think off of this fight off of Bud, he's guaranteed 150 million, and Bud is getting 50.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but I guess I wouldn't have thought that because I think Bud should be the A side. But Bud even said in their when they have their press conferences when they're across from each other, he said that this is his mega fight to fight somebody like Canelo. I thought that it should be sort of vice versa. Canelo, this should be him. But when you look at Canelo's resume, I guess it is somewhat. He is the A side of the match because he's fought Floyd.
Right.
He is that guy. Right. But I would say Bud is the draw, in my opinion. But when you look at his resume, you can understand. I don't think it should be that big of a discrepancy, though. I think it should be like maybe even if he got 100, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I say. I that's why I was asking that question of what y'all thought on that because I'm like, that's a big discrepancy there. You know what I'm saying? I think
Bud, it's a huge discrepancy.
That even if Canelo got more, because like I said, I know he got that deal with the Saudis and it was guaranteeing him a little more money. I get that, but 100 million gap between them, like that's a big gap. But I did see that Bud has incentives where he can make another up to 5 million off of the pay-per-views and all that stuff. And then I think it's also, I didn't see how much it was. It didn't state what it was, but I think he has a knockout clause in there too. That I think he gets paid more money if he knocks Canelo out. So, but that's a clause. I don't know how common that is, and that might be in there. And that might be in there because of the difference of the upfront pay.
They put in there a killing clause. You're killing, and you get another 100 million.
Terrell just made a good point too. Canelo about to have all of Mexico following him, so that might
they all. And that's the thing, man. Not to turn it into a race conversation, but Canelo, in America, I think America is going for Canelo, and that's the power of being black. Canelo in this fight, people will be. It won't be an America thing. It will be an anti-black thing. I think more people will be pulling for Canelo than they will be for Bud Crawford, and that is crazy. But yeah, I think
But that's the country that
all
we
the
live
times
in.
when Floyd fought Mexican fighters, white America is looking for him to lose. They want him to lose. Even like people who are pro-America, they would not root for the black man, the black American to win. They want the Mexican to win.
And in that
That's more
case,
identifiable for them.
Ahava is correct when you say that they were rooting for a knockout, because white America was definitely looking for somebody to knock Floyd out. That's
Oh,
what they've been.
people wanted
They
to
were
see
praying
Floyd
and
lose.
hoping for, wanting to see Floyd. They wanted to see. Not they didn't want to just see Floyd lose. They wanted to see Floyd get beat, get knocked out, get whooped on. That's what they wanted to see, and that was the one thing that I was always happy about. And then happy that Floyd went ahead and got out of the game.
Yes,
With all his
and
faculties and everything, and he never gave them the satisfaction of seeing him lose. Because one thing I hate about is when boxers stick around the game too long, and you end up seeing them get beat in a way that they shouldn't have, because they should have been walked away from the game. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was going to say that's why I'm mad at Tank. Y'all hear about Tank fighting the whatchamacallit, the
Jake Paul.
Tank, for me, that was one of my. I love Tank. That's he off the chain. I thought Tank was like going to be in the same echelon as Floyd. This fight, I can't even fool with him no more, man. Regardless of the outcome, why would you do that?
I don't understand that fight at all, because that's not even boxing. Like you said, we're talking about Canelo walking around at 190, Bud walking around at 180, and they trying to go fight at 168.
Has Tank recently lost a couple of fights or something, or
no? He had a
draw,
and he didn't look good at all. A lot of people say that he lost that fight,
but he probably walk around at 140. And
Tank is
Jake
a
Paul
small dude.
Is 200 walk around at 210 pounds, and Jake ain't gonna try to lose no weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not trying to lose no weight. It's not even legitimate boxing, because it's not even meeting in a weight class that's to say like, oh, this is boxing. You know what I'm saying? You just got a boxer against a bigger guy that he hoping he hit Tank one time, and that Tank can't handle getting hit by a guy that big. And it's not worth it. I mean, I was through with the Jake Paul thing when you put in a clause with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson couldn't really hit you. Man, you getting too much money making a mockery out of the sport now. And
not only that, I look at Tank, his bravado and the way that he moved, a lot of the same sort of, I guess you could say, opposition that he gets is a lot like with Floyd, because he talk a lot, he real arrogant, but you liable to get hurt fighting a dude that much bigger than you. And what is it going to prove? I just think that is, and all the while, even if you beat him up, they're going to say, well, he's not really a boxer. It's like a no win for you. And it's like
lose.
Right. And I don't think that I don't like that he did that. And it's like, dude, why? And it's like, it makes it clear like you doing it to get this money. It's going to be a huge thing. And I think he's probably going to be done boxing after that. Because no one is going to take him serious after that.
Right. Yeah.
And I think Tyson fighting again too. Tyson about to fight somebody, I think, too.
Floyd Mayweather.
That's right. That's stupid too.
Exactly.
That's stupid, man. I like, don't do it, man.
I like that one. That's a good one.
I would never watch.
They classing it as an exhibition.
Paul, I would never.
Yeah, they're not gonna try to hurt each other, bro. They're not doing it.
No, but I don't want to see that. I want you to.
It's gonna be kind of cool though to see them two in the ring together. I think that's sweet. Yeah, I like that. I like that because I like their respect for each other.
I made a vow to myself. I'll never watch that again. That was bad. That whole Jake Paul thing was terrible.
I mean, I guess it's probably going to be like how Mike Tyson and Roy Jones
Roy
Jr.,
Jones.
which was just an exhibition, which it looked like two old uncles at the family barbecue doing something they ain't got no business doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
Right.
not. I mean, I don't even know if it makes for good entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know
At all.
what it's for. You know,
If
yeah.
you want to see Tyson fight again, you want to see him hit somebody and somebody be able to withstand that one punch.
Apollo and Drago, right? Who we hope he don't mess around and hit Floyd for real and hurt Floyd, because Floyd is a little dude, man.
And that's what if he didn't hit the Paul kid for real, there's no way he can hit Floyd.
Yeah, I would totally be disappointed
I'd
with
be
Mike Tyson if he
disappointed.
did
That's
that.
why I'm saying I can't watch it, because I think part of me believes that can happen. Like they try to fight each other, and I don't want to see them fight each other. Both of them past their prime clearly. They don't need to be fighting each other. If he wasn't gonna go in and try to knock out Jake Paul, y'all better be headgear, cream puff, like just tapping each other. And I don't want to see that.
And yeah, because Roy said in their exhibition, I think Mike hit him one time with something in the body. He like, whoa, Mike, we just playing now. You know, like, right. and he might, and Roy ain't a little dude. You know what I'm saying? I told you when I met Roy back in 96, 95, 96, when I was in junior college, man. Roy about a good 5'11", probably walking around, weight about like 185 or something like that. Roy was not a little dude.
Well, you remember Roy went up to heavyweight. Roy won
exactly.
So yeah, he a big dude.
yeah. He not a little dude. Floyd, what, about 5'5", 5'6", 145? Yeah.
You talking about the smallest of professional fighters fighting a heavyweight. That they don't need to be in the ring with one another. That's not that's cool. That ain't cool at all. I don't want to
dancing around signing some autographs.
That's the thing. It's like you really taking advantage of people's emotions, because people, like I said, they want to see Tyson because of what they sort of romanticize about him back in the day, and think he gonna knock somebody out. Those days are gone, man.
Man, Tyson almost 60 years old. If he's not 60, man, ain't nobody looking to see Tyson knock nobody out. Like,
at that Jake Paul fight, people thought that he was going to knock him out.
Yeah, because they tried to hype it up, and then it got messed around and got leaked before the fight that he wasn't allowed to hit him.
You know? I ain't trying to hear that, man. Or not hear that, but I ain't trying to see that. I don't want to see them fight.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, I think it would be the same as like we talked about watching Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali. I want to see them fights about the same. That's now I'm going to watch Canelo and Bud. I will watch that, but I'm not because they actually two fighters still trying to fight, and it's a legitimate stuff. All that other stuff, man, I can go without seeing. You know.
I'm with Chad. I don't want to see none of that, man. But people gonna pay to see it. I hear people saying like, "Man, I want to watch it. I want to see it. I don't want to see them doing that. I don't want to see them doing that, man." Tyson smoke weed every day, man. He ain't ready to fight no dang on fight.
Exactly. So we got a good thing.
Jaden Daniels down 14, about to get the ball back with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left.
So what are you thinking? Are you thinking right now that he got to win the game? I'm
thinking that the way they play football so stupid at the end of games, Jaden Daniels is in a prime position to come back and tie this game. Because they're going to play some type of defense that's going to let him just dink and dunk all the way up the field for a touchdown real quick. They're going to punt it. They're going to kick it out. Hold on, look. They're going to kick it back off to him. They're going to run the ball 3 times and go 3 and out, trying to eat off the little clock. Jaden Daniels gonna get the ball back and go down the field, and he can score. Watch.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why Green Bay would do that. And they just got a field goal. It's 2017.
He did it. That was big.
This is why it's just the math, bro. This is why they wouldn't they're not going to go into prevent defense because you are down. Well, now they may play a little softer, but the rule of thumb is if you go into the fourth quarter up 20 points, all you got to do is protect that lead. That's what Baltimore had. So they're just trying to make the game go by as fast as possible, which means run the ball, stop them. In this game, they're down 17. So Green Bay is still going to be a little bit more aggressive on defense, and they're not going to make it easy for Jane Daniels. They're not going to be playing prevent.
I heard the coach of the Ravens talking about them losing and blowing games. I think they've been up by like double-digit touchdowns or something. And
They've
20 times, and they've lost like 6 of them.
Yeah,
6 games up by a lot at the end of the game and lost 6 times. And he said he said, we win a lot of games, we up a lot too, but we have lost 6 games like that, blown leads, like what happened to Lamar. So I said that last week.
I mean, that happens in sports.
They're not going. I'm saying Green Bay isn't going to do that though, because it's like I'm saying, all they do, what most teams in the NFL are going to do is play the averages. If you're up 20 in the fourth quarter, it's time for you to chill and allow them to. They're going to say more times than not, you're going to make a mistake. If you make a mistake, we win the game. And even if we do. Our whole focus and objective as a team is not to make a mistake. Don't turn the ball over. And the game, they're not going to get enough possessions to catch up to us. That's why you see the vanilla offense. They're not aggressive. We run the ball, make them use their timeouts. They won't get the ball enough times to catch up to us in the fourth quarter. Right now, they're not up 20 points. When you're up, the significance of the 20-point lead in the fourth quarter is that you got to score 3 touchdowns. Yeah. When you're not up 20, you can score 2 touchdowns and get a field goal, and you're back in the game, tied, send it to overtime.
They still watch what they do. Watch on defense. They're going to let them go right down the field and score real quick.
I guarantee you, with them being up, they're up 17, bro. They're not going to be playing. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to play like a soft defense or a shell or a prevent. They're going to be playing more base. Now, they probably won't blitz as much because they know right now, if you're Washington, you got to throw the ball. So they're not going to be blitzing, but they're not going to be just in a prevent defense. They're going to be trying to get.
So Chad just made the point that Harbaugh has the most blown fourth quarter leads in the last 20 years. So is that not a coaching thing? Yes. Or is that on the players?
That's clearly a coaching thing.
But it's on the player if the coach gives him the authority to run the team.
I think everything is a combination, but I place more blame on statistics like that than on the coach. But it's on everybody. See, look, they're not blitzing, but they're not playing.
See, but they let them just keep hitting little chunks like that. Bang, bang, bang,
but look,
bang.
They're in the field. They're in the field of play. It's 6 minutes left. If they don't, they're not going to have enough time to keep running like that. That type of offense, they're gonna hit
him a little 28, 29 yarder. Watch.
Not with Micah Parsons.
Boom, right there in the pocket. See? That's what they do. They start playing this little defense. Huh?
What would you do if you were the defensive coordinator? You probably would not be around long. I think what you're going to say. But what would you do?
I don't know, man.
I
would probably just keep trying to play.
Defense. They're playing up, press man, and they got a break up. The defense making plays.
So I'll answer that question.
They did. I would say 2 receptions in a row. I mean, they still.
I would say continue on to the game plan that got you the lead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right,
that's what I would say. I'm not about to do nothing, change the wheel or do something. Create. Oh, now I'm gonna do this. Whatever I was doing that got us to where we have a 20-point lead.
The flag. See, when people start cheating, that's what I don't like. They cheated.
What? I have always believed the situation ball. You come to a 3rd and 10 in a situations like this. You up 17. You're not going to play prevent, but you're going to play defense like a base. We gonna man up. We gonna throw some different zones at them, get different looks, give them one look at the snap, switch it at the when they snap the ball. But I'm not going to be blitzing and stuff like that.
Find a pocket. See,
hey, dude just tore his Achilles. Look like out here that wide receiver.
now
Look like
here
a
you
wide
go,
receiver.
touchdown right here, up top.
Oh, Eckler. Oh,
I'm telling you, he
Time
tore his Achilles.
Damn.
He tore his Achilles. I hope not. I hope he just sprained his ankle or something. But watch, he went down with no contact. No contact. Nobody's even near him.
oh, yo.
And he grabbed that back of that ankle.
Yep.
What's going through your head right now as a player? What's going through his mind
I
right
just
now?
tore my Achilles.
As a
Coming from
as a
someone that
player.
tore their Achilles.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Achilles.
tore mine too. Yeah.
I
Does
felt
it
that
hurt?
pop, and it's a
Does it
wrap.
hurt?
Nothing hurt me.
Mine hurt, but this is where he's feeling now because he realized he can't put no pressure on that, and he can't put his foot down. And it's a hard feeling to describe when you tear your Achilles because it's like your foot just go flat, and you don't feel
It's
anything.
dead.
Yeah,
You've heard people that say how it felt when they did it, and when you hear it and you haven't tore your Achilles, you be like, oh, okay, whatever. The moment I did mine, I was like, I tore my Achilles because that feeling, to Reem's point, you're like, oh, because it's not as much of a pain as it is a sensation that you feel like, man, my foot ain't working right. It's not an ankle sprain, and you're like, it feels like somebody hit you in the back of the leg, nobody there, and you feel that pop, and you like, oh, it's over. That's my Achilles. You know what it is.
Mine sounded like a gunshot. I actually thought when I fell to the ground, I looked back. I said, "Who's shooting?" And it was nobody near me. And everybody like, "What you doing?" Like nobody was near me. I just was walking on the court, and just pop, and you hear it and everything. So yeah, it's a crazy feeling. I hate to see that happen to him, even though they recover now a lot quicker from them injuries than we did back in the day. But man, it's hate to see that happen. That's going to be crucial. And then depending on where he at in his career, it could be awesome.
Austin Eckler is a vet. He just got re-upped. He used to play for the Chargers.
Yeah, he might be coaching now.
Mm-hmm. Now, bro, this is why you play the defense that they playing though. Do you remember what the clock was at? Where the clock was at when they started this drive?
6:47.
They have, and this is the math behind it all. They haven't scored yet, but you're already down to 4 minutes left in the game.
Right.
And that's why Baltimore, I said, in that game, you would keep running the ball because you're not going to mathematically have enough time to score. If you just play solid and don't turn the ball.
But they still letting them go down the field. That's the point. They only got 10 points in this game. But all of a sudden, right now, they're at the 1 yard line. So they got down the field right now, hadn't been able to do it all of the game except for right now.
That's okay.
And it's because of the defense that they're playing makes it a little easier for them to get this far. That's the point. Right after I said they're about to go down the field and score because of the clock. Plus, I know how they start playing. You're right, though. What you're saying is they make them eat up the clock, but they exchange that for a touchdown. But it gets risky, though, because now they're about to kick on the ball back. They're going to run it 3 times and give them the ball right back with about 2 minutes left on the clock.
See, that's the part, though. You're not expecting that your offense is going to go out there and run the ball 3 times and have to
That's
punt.
what they're going to do. Watch.
If they do, so be it. But the clock is going to be running. If you run the clock all the way down, they won't get the ball back, and you need to score 3 times until like 2 minutes
Well,
to a
3
minute.
times, right? 3 times messes it up. But if they
So
was
that's
only
fine.
down, when
That's
I made that
fine.
statement, they was really only down 14. Then they kicked the field goal right after I after I said that. So it
So
does
this-
change it a little, but I'm just saying teams can come back quickly in the fourth quarter because of the way they play defense.
You see how Austin Eckler look on the cart? He know what it is. He know what he got.
Yeah. So my question though, Bone, like you said that they took 2 minutes off the clock. How long does it normally take a drive to score?
Oh, that's what I don't know what on average it takes, but I would think it takes like going
About
where it will
6-7 minutes.
It depends. Yeah, and it depends where you get the ball. Like if you're starting from the 20-yard line going all the way in, you may have 6-7 minutes to score.
Okay, so my point on that is why I'm asking that question is, but then when you're doing the prevent and then you steadily giving up yard after giving up 10, 10, 10, 10, and it takes them 2 minutes to get down and score, isn't that allowing them to score quicker than if you played your regular defense that you have been playing, that it takes 6 to 7 minutes on the drive?
All right.
Not necessarily. That's what I'm saying. The 2 minutes, they weren't starting at the 20. I'm saying if you're in a position where all you're going to be doing is throwing, and it varies from team to team. With somebody like when I say Green Bay in this game, they're playing their regular defense. They're just not blitzing. They're rushing forward, dropping 7. And Daniels just got sacked. He just got sacked. You're banking that your front 4 can get to him. We can get to him with 4 if you got the right defensive lineman.
Right. So now you playing that defense, but previously coming down the field, you just gave up 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards on easy receptions as he just let him catch the ball in front of you, boom, 10, 10, 10. And now you don't move the ball down the field quickly. So now you're counting on your defense to step up in the red zone and then stop. That's what. So we prevent.
No, you don't even in this. That's the thing in this situation. It's not even bad that they score.
Touchdown.
You just like Debo.
Why they ain't been giving Debo the ball, man?
It's not a bad thing that they score. It's you win even if they score. You just want them to take those 4 minutes off the clock because now they're trying to hold on to that one timeout that they have left. When we get the ball, we're gonna make sure they use it. That's why I was saying that's the difference between having the 20-point lead or a 17-point lead. Mathematically, you're not going to have enough time. If we don't turn the ball over, we can run the ball 3 straight times, and then y'all get the ball back. You're just not going to have enough time to win the game.
Okay, now, well, my question, though, because I watch these prevent defenses, not only just in 20-point scores or stuff like that, just period, that teams stop playing the defense, they call it prevent, and you just watch somebody dink and dump the ball all the way down the field. And you just giving up yards, and then boom, they score, boom, this something happened, boom, and you losing the game when you maybe was up two touchdowns, or you was up it was a 10-7 game, or you was up a touchdown, and you don't. Why do teams? My question is what me and I was trying to figure out. Why do teams stop playing defense and playing what got you the lead? So if playing defense this way didn't allow them to score, and they only had X amount, and they only got, or it's 21 to 14, and it's 2 minutes to go. Why not just play defense the way you've been playing defense, as opposed to doing this prevent and then letting them dink and dump the ball down the field? Because what can happen is they score easy, and then you mess around, you fumble the ball on the kickoff, or they get the ball back, 3 and out, boom. Now they get the ball, then they get down again. You prevent, then they in a field goal position, kick a field goal, game over. Why do defenses don't just continue to play what got them there?
Now watch this.
It's just
how many
risk
timeouts did Washington got?
1.
They got 1. But if they had 2, if they had 2, they could use on first down use one, second down use one, then let the 2-minute warning be their third one. And then,
but that's what I'm saying.
what
That's
we call that? To punt
that
the ball
wouldn't
back
even
to them,
matter
and they
though.
got
That's
2
why
minutes
they
to go
trying
down
to
and
kick the
score again.
But that's the thing. That's why they're kicking an onside kick, because they realize you don't have enough time to win the game with them
Right.
having one
Yep.
timeout left. But
Right.
to answer Reem's question, all you're playing as a defensive coordinator is risk versus reward, and the risk of playing what you would say your normal defense, and if you are if you go and try to potentially blitz or put your corners on an island, the risk of doing that, you don't want to have the potential of giving up a big play. That's all you're trying to guard against. If you can dink and dunk and get down there, that's a lot different than you giving up a 70-yard bomb over your head in 10 seconds off the clock and they have scored a touchdown. You don't want to give that up. And that's what they guard against. So they say, okay, if you dink and dunk, we'll give that up. But we're not going to give you a one-on-one opportunity to go down the sideline against one of our corners. And that's what you see during the game. You may have corners that really can cover like that, but you're not going to put them in that position when you're up 17 points and say, okay, guard their best receiver and he get an opportunity to throw the ball over the top and score a touchdown in 10 seconds, because that's essentially what you're doing. If you're playing your regular
defenses, I still see
Where
that
your
happen
safety at?
sometimes.
Where the safety at? He ain't coming over top.
I didn't
No, because when you're manning up, a lot of times you don't have safety help. You might be able to do that, and it ain't. And with the right quarterback, your safety ain't gonna be able to get there. The right quarterback gonna look the safety off, go back to whoever that primary receiver is that you're going to on the long route. But that's essentially why you guarding against the big play. You would rather them dink and dunk than get a shot at going over top to score a touchdown. That's all that is. So and believe you me, there's a lot of people like we didn't like playing a lot of prevent or soft shell coverages, and our defensive
look,
coach,
he trying to throw it. Look, and got sacked. Call timeout. They already used their timeout, huh? They got to run one more play before the 2-minute warning, though. They got to run one more play before that 2-minute warning. Just barely couldn't get it off. Look at that. Look at that. They're going to get the ball back. They're going to get the ball back, and they'll get another
but they ain't
shot
gonna
at
get the ball back.
kick.
They're going to get the ball back down, what?
9. They're going to score real quick, try to another onside kick, recover it, then kick a field goal and win it.
That field goal hurt them in this instant. But, when you got situations
that's
where...
why I said the 17 makes it different. And if they were up 20, it would make it even more different. That's why I said it was you just had a lot of stuff that had to happen in the case of the Baltimore.
Right. They was up 17. They was up 14 when I first started saying it, though.
No, Baltimore was up 20 in the fourth quarter.
Baltimore, that's coaching, man. That's coaching, and then he needs to give more control to Lamar Jackson.
Neither. That's not coaching.
You gotta give control to Lamar Jackson to be able to do anything he thinks of out there on that field. Give him the.
You think Lamar Jackson don't have that right now?
No.
He gets
Lamar Jackson would not sit up there and
plays whenever he wants.
He's not.
And it wasn't. I thought Lamar Jackson did not. It wasn't Lamar Jackson, bro. That was not Lamar Jackson. They had a fumble, and then they didn't convert, and they had to punt. Unless you're saying
that's the one I'm talking about right there.
You saying he should have
converted,
been able to override what the coach say, and then say, "Look, we going."
Yes, we're not running this ball. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna throw it. Call a little bootleg out the back. Do something.
Hold on. Which player you're saying that he should be able to override the coach and say we're not going to punt and go for it?
No, I don't know about that's taking it too far. I'm not saying that though.
Well, on third down, he threw a pass to a guy that they just didn't convert on third down. The guy didn't get the first down. I don't understand. He made a play.
I just want Lamar Jackson to win. And if we gotta fire the coach,
That's not.
then we gonna fire the coach. If we gonna
But Lamar Jackson is loyal to Harbaugh though. He wouldn't want another coach because Harbaugh, he rolled with him when people were saying get Lamar out of town. You can't lose that in the conversation. It didn't start with Lamar being a MVP. It started with them saying you should be playing wide receiver. And Harbaugh said, no, he's a quarterback. And then getting rid of a Super Bowl winning quarterback in the midst of the playoffs and saying this is our guy. And then we're going to change our whole offense to suit his skill set. So if you're Lamar, you don't want that coach fired. That coach is that guy to him.
Hold on, look, Bone, look, dink, dink, dink and dunk in the trunk. Come on, get up.
As long as they're dinking and dunking in the field of play, they can dink and dunk all day. It's a minute and 30 seconds.
Time. They don't got enough time.
They're going to give that up all day. Look at this dink tackle, clock rolling. You don't have no time. Dink. Clock. Now you see why they play that game?
No, because they lose like that all the time.
In this situation, based off of the score, it's a little different. They down. It's a 9 point. It's a 9 point game, and they can't. No matter what happened, it's not enough time. When I'm speaking on is a situation where this one drive can tie the game or put you in a winning situation, and them guys play that same prevent defense and allow them to drive down the field and make it so much easier for them to score, as opposed to just manning up and playing however you're gonna play. And if you gotta beat me, then you gotta go beat me. I'm not just gonna let you get the ball down the field and it's a one point game. And this one score game. In this situation, it's completely different because it's 9. It don't matter what they do. If they get a touchdown and got a 2 point conversion, they still down 1.
I don't think Washington got the weapons, man. I don't think did the one kid come back and sign?
They got McLaurin, they got Deebo Samuel, they got Jaden Daniel, they got Zach.
Where are they at? What are they doing?
They're losing to a better team.
That might be true though, for real. Because now I do think Green Bay is like that though. I picked Green Bay to
People forget Jaden Daniels went to the NFC Championship game last year in his rookie season.
Yeah.
All offseason, every NFC defensive coordinator has been looking at tape on him. And that sophomore slump in the NFL for quarterbacks is a real thing, man. They looking at what you do well because they didn't have a lot of tape on him last year. This year, they figuring out what you do well, what's the scheme you got, and they trying to combat that. And I think history holds true.
So then that means that the defensive coordinators are what you said are basically smarter than the offensive coordinators, right? Because they don't come up with another scheme that can allow this man to be effective.
Now, offensive coordinators, they don't switch, man. Now, that's what I will say. Most offensive coordinators in the NFL, they add wrinkles. But they don't switch. They have a system. And, the Bill Walsh, they talk about the West Coast offense and what it was. That West Coast offense was that West Coast offense all the way from the time he had sort of created it till now. People have different wrinkles. And I don't necessarily think it's necessarily that the DCs are smarter, but offensive coordinators, they're more tied to a system than defensive coordinators are. Having played defense, I think we make more adjustments in game, in play than offense. In my opinion, offensive players would say they make more adjustments, but it's just, it's one of those things that's very difficult. Offensive coordinators, they have a lot going on and they make a lot of checks. But I think as a rule, offensive coordinators, they have a system in place and they don't sort of venture away from that. They have a foundation. Some are going to be predicated on run, some are going to be predicated on passing the ball, but that's their system. They want to do what they do, and you find the pieces to fit into it. Whereas defense, it's more fluid than that.
All right, well, we got the first
And they
game.
didn't score no more. They didn't score no more playing that defense.
No, they scored. They scored. They got 18. They scored the
No,
touchdown.
I'm saying after that last score, Bro said they were going to come down, score, kick on one side, win the game.
Oh yeah,
They didn't score another point.
So we looking at it.
They scored a touchdown.
So we got the first game of the week out the way. So the Packers took that game. So now we looking forward to Sunday. So and a couple good college games that we'll see and be able to see what happens in this fight. So
on Tuesday, you got all the tallies, right?
Yep, I got them right here.
We have to put that up beforehand because bro gonna be switching up. I'm gonna win, but
yeah.
I mean, Reem and his racist behavior, that's going to get him to lose. And bro, he gonna try to switch everyone that he got wrong and say that's not who he picked. We're going to show the results first. We're going to show who we picked first.
Buffalo
I told you, I picked the players that I like and coaches that I like. That's how I went with my pick.
You only like black people. That's it.
I didn't say that. I just picked the coaches and players that I like.
And that's why I said, did you pick somebody, a white quarterback or a white coach over a black coach or a black quarterback?
I had to pick some. There's not a black quarterback on every team. I picked the Bengals. Yeah, they don't have a black quarterback or a black coach.
They're not playing against a black coach or a black quarterback, though.
They playing
that's not my fault. They playing against Travis Hunter, and I like Travis Hunter, and I still picked
I said the quarterback. I said the quarterback. Travis
Hunter is just as major as a quarterback in our eyes.
I picked the Steelers. They don't have a black quarterback. They have a white quarterback, but they got a black coach.
Exactly. You said
so. I picked it because I like Tomlin, but I like Tomlin, so I picked him.
Who is Seattle? Seattle doesn't have a black quarterback or a black coach.
I said I picked it because I like Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin.
Because he's black.
No, because he's a good coach, and that happens to be black.
My question was, have you picked a team that has either a white coach or a white quarterback against a black quarterback and or coach? And the answer to that would be no.
Well, let's see. The Chargers and the Raiders, that would be the only one where there's a white quarterback against a black quarterback. I picked the Raiders because of I like Geno Smith. I've been a fan of Geno since back in the day. Then the Buccaneers and the Texans. I didn't like
Rose ain't the quarterback, Chad. See, he on the roster, but he ain't the starting quarterback. Who is starting him for Seattle right now?
I don't know.
I had Kraft in the fantasy league in my homeboy elite league. My homeboy league with LB had 36 points tonight. The tight end for the Packers.
How did you fare in fantasy this week? Did you lose in our league?
I got popped. Yeah, I lost because Worthy got hurt like early in the game. That like threw me off. I knew it threw Pat Mahomes off. I hope he get his weapons back, man. You know, Mahomes been operating without weapons. We don't necessarily need you to
qualify it all. We just said, did you win or did you lose? And it sounded like you lost.
I lost. How'd you do? Did you even check?
I won.
Let me look and see who's going where.
I won. I'm a winner.
So I
can't look at it right now.
So with the Falcons and the Vikings, I like the Falcons uniforms better. That's why I picked the Falcons.
Not because Michael Penix is the quarterback?
I like Michael Penix because I liked him when he was at Washington, but I like their uniforms better. So that's why I picked the Falcons.
Who are they playing?
The Vikings.
Listen, it doesn't bother me. I'm going to be winning. I'm all about winning. You can say however you want. I'm going to win.
I have a different technique that I use on picking, but hey, this is how I go.
If JJ McCarthy was in Atlanta, you would like Minnesota's uniforms a little bit better. If Michael Penix was in Atlanta, if Michael Penix was in Minnesota and JJ McCarthy was in Atlanta, it'll be over with.
No, because if Michael Penix was in Minnesota because he got Justin Jefferson, I would have been riding with that. I like Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson still is in Minnesota.
Exactly. That's what I said. You said if Michael Penix was in Minnesota. I'm saying I would have liked it because Justin Jefferson was there. So,
right, but the uniforms are still better in Atlanta. That's what I'm saying.
They are. But that wouldn't have been my reason to pick then because they all would have Michael Penix and Justin Jefferson.
Hey, it doesn't bother me. I'm saying I'm going for the win.
So, I mean, Penix throwing to Jefferson is a win.
Hey.
All right, so let's wrap it up, cuz we got some. Well, I guess you started the show off with your for shits and giggles, right? We're talking about with the fuse being blown out. So I want to thank everybody that's been chiming in out there today. Chad, Micah, Will, Terrell. It's been nephew Todd. No, Michael Bayless. Michael Ville.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So and I saw some other names too. So man, I want to thank everybody for chiming in. People that sent text messages and saying that they're supporting it and been watching our show, and even though they haven't been commenting. So just want to appreciate everybody for tuning in with us and having some good conversation with us about some things even non-sports related today. And so for shits and giggles, I mean, I would like to say, just the show today was a transition for something that talking about some real life issues and everything that we still was able to add a little commentary in there for humor and stuff too. So I would like to say, I hope nobody takes any offense to anything that's being said on here because we're not trying to offend anybody, but have our opinions and stuff along with a slight entertainment value to it. So this is why the title of the show is For Shits and Giggles. So we hope everybody continue to join in with us and enjoy the For Shits and Giggles.
And I will piggyback, as I always do, on whatever the conversation is around what we're talking about. And I'll say that is the whole premise and objective of this podcast. Like Ring was saying, he hopes no one is offended by anything that we might say. But I think that is the whole purpose, to get people engaged and have just have real conversations in real time, live, uncut and unfiltered about real world situations. And that's the whole purpose. People can chime in, enter the chat, be engaged, and offer up their opinion and have their voices heard. And that's what makes it unique, and that's what adds value. So any and everybody that has chimed in, any and everybody that has listened in or take the time, because time is our most valuable resource to spend, just spending time with us, we appreciate it. And I would say that's what makes it worthwhile. You know what I mean? When people chime in and have a viewpoint on the things that we talk about and put time and effort into finding out topics that people will want to talk about. That's the key. So yeah, that's what's up.
See Chad's coming.
And that comes from a true hater.
Because you see Chad's comment the ball.
Who is Benny though? I don't know what that is.
Benny off of Harlem Nights.
His name wasn't Benny, it was Vinny.
No, it was Benny. Red Fox character.
No, it wasn't. His name was Benny.
It was Benny.
His name was not Benny.
It was Benny.
Man, let me tell you something. His name was not Benny.
That's the good thing though. Like I said, what we wanted to do with this show being live is that we can get interactions. We could get, and we also got people that's fact checking and saying things and being able to put in facts into what's going on to keep the conversation moving it and keep it exciting and going. You know, Pops put in there that we leave him speechless. So I guess that might be a good thing. So I mean, I just hope. I just want us to everyone to keep chiming in, spread the word to other people, and have more people join in with the conversation, and we continue to grow and continue to be able to put some, enlightenment out here. You know, some educational things. You know, I got a few texts today with some folks who told me my little brother KJ Jones over in Indianapolis that he don't really watch football or into football, but he likes to listen to our podcast to get some knowledge and everything about football. So I mean, we just want to provide some education along with entertainment, and you know, so I think that's what we're doing. So we just hope to continue to grow and hope people stay with us. So.
All right, everybody. Man, we love you. We'll see y'all Tuesday, where we will review how I won yet another pool.
Got it written down.
Bro, do you
really? Oh, hold on. Let me show y'all this. Wait a minute. I meant to show y'all this the whole show. Look. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I wanted to show that. Yeah. With the good old hood and t-shirts and stuff. So if anybody want a good old podcast shirt, tell us, man. We'll get y'all together.
Yes. Please.
And
please
y'all got all of us got a podcast shirt. All of us got one, y'all.
Oh, that's what's up. All right.
Hey, we got now if we all wore our shirts the same day, like on the podcast, would that be corny? Would that be sweet? Would that be cool?
I think we should do it on Tuesday.
Say no more.
Say less.
We can do polos, t-shirt kings. We can do it all.
All right,
hey, do that voice again, bro.
We can do it all. Not like Tommy Owens, man. Tommy Owens got the radio voice for the city. We all just know his voice for all commercials. All right, man. Peace and love. Love everybody.
All right. Peace out.